Hello, everyone. I'm Noura Shubeki, Manager of Customer Experience at ROSHN. I would like to thank you all for giving us this amazing opportunity, and I'll be walking you through how we measure our customer experience. Now, as a real estate industry, um, we have started with quite a challenge. People were more familiar with buying houses through aggregators and developers, creating lack of trust, transparency, and credibility. We needed to create a whole new way of living. When we were selling something that did not exist in the market. Therefore, measurement has helped us improve as we go and create products and services and even journeys as we went through. So we validate our customer experience on a daily basis, and feedback has been helping us improve significantly. Measurement has helped us realize our aspirations for growth. Now, a journey for us is a discovery. And what is far more interesting is looking at the whys behind the scores and the reasons behind the scores. So after every big step of the journey, we tend to request for feedback, whether it's satisfaction, net promoter score, and other attributes that we believe matter. We also make sure that we adhere by our standards. So as mentioned, for us, we mostly focus on the whys behind the scores. Now, this is an example of our contact center dashboard. Bearing in mind that we're a small business, we have managed to conduct over 16,000 calls. We have matched our customers' desired media for contact calls, SMSs, and EDMs. Our outbound call satisfaction has reached up to 98%. We have a very big contact center where we have managed to conduct appointments, we do follow-up calls, and also we manage to monitor our operations and KPIs on a daily basis. Now, as mentioned earlier, for ROSHN standards, we tend to make sure that sales centers, for example, have the same standards and follow the same templates in terms of scripts, interactions, and information delivered. So our sales advisors in Sidra are encouraged and self-evaluated to deliver house details and benefits same as other sales advisors in Warifa, for example. So for us, standards is not just a score that an HR gives to an employee. It's actually a score where we measure customer experience. Now, talking about the level of depth of our measurements, you have the first box where I'm going to be explaining how do we measure our scores? So, for example, for our end-to-end journey or for our surveys, we tend to, as a first level, look at the score. And then after that, as a second level, we look into other attributes and drivers for why did they actually give us the score. And then finally, as a third level, we tend to look at the text analysis, where we analyze every piece of feedback that we receive from the customers, which gives us a bigger picture and a bigger why of why they gave us the score. Now, we don't actually stop there. We also look into the next box, which shows you the CRM data. So the KPIs and the database that we have internally. So we look into the trends that we receive, and we actually, as a second level, we tend to audit why are the numbers looking the way they are. If there are any unfamiliar trends, we tend to validate that. And then we go to also a third level where we take that with other departments as well, just to make sure that the internal database actually makes sense and actually makes sense with the feedback that we receive as well. After that, we come up with certain initiatives or projects where we make sure that these projects are implemented. And then we look into the level of depth of the project itself as well. So, for example, once a project is done, we need to validate that it's actually done. It's not just said that it's done. We tend to audit the completion of the projects. And then, as a third level, we tend to evaluate through A/B testing, where we tend to, for example, call people before the project was implemented to take a score and then call people after, just to validate that the project is actually effective and it's not just done for the name that it's just done. So this is a framework of what I was just saying in the slide before. So we start with feedback, and then we analyze and validate with our internal database, and then we assign certain stakeholders to make sure that the projects, we come up with the projects are implemented, and then we follow up until the project is done. And what I want to emphasize here is that this is something continuous. It's a framework that never ends. So once the project is done, and then we follow up, we go back to feedback where ideally, after implementing all these improvements, we should be noticing a positive trend as we go, and we should improve as we go. This is something that never dies. Measurement continues going on. So here is an example of the corrective actions that we have come up with um, in the past, where, for example, we have noticed with our feedback that people have been waiting for a long time to sit with, for example, home finance. So we tended to increase the number of banks. We have actually increased the number of employees as well, just to increase the efficiency of home finance. We have also noticed from the feedback that some people were not happy with the working hours because, as you know, people have mostly free time within the weekends. So we have adjusted the working hours to have people more available based on the customers and what they need. And we have noticed that this has improved our sales journey significantly. So as mentioned, measurements is something that we tend to improve on a daily basis and it never dies. Again, thank you all for giving us this amazing opportunity. Thank you. Bye.